Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So I am a 3L. Yes, I keep talking about graduation, and that's because I am finally almost out of law school. But I'm an active member of BOSA, and so I really got an email the other day asking us to highlight some of our careers, our achievements while at the law school. And it actually encouraged me to make this video today, because when I was just going through and just talking about all the things that I've done in the past 3 years, I realized that I've done a lot in a particular area and with a lot of stuff. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little background on the areas that I've worked on, and I wanted to share with you guys my accomplishment over the past 3 years as a law student, particularly because I realized that a lot of my law school experience, my law school career, was focused and was concentrated on taxation. So I think I can be helpful as far as sharing some light on it. If you're interested in tax law, here's some of the things you need to know. I don't know all the answers, but I do know a number of things. One, as a law student, where a lot of the topics and all the things we're learning were all theory, I really found a safe space with getting involved with tax. Not tax law necessarily. So my school has an organization called the Association of Tax Law, ATL, and so part of their program, one of their biggest event is in the spring, where they organize a VITA clinic. So what VITA is a volunteer income tax assistant program ran by the IRS that educates Masters of Accounting students, law students, as well as, you know, some other enrolled agents on helping people file their tax return. The program is geared towards members of the local community who have income less than, I believe, $75,000, and they would come, and we had a clinic at the law school that we ran every spring. People come and you help them file their returns, and that was my first introduction to taxation. That was my first introduction to reading the Internal Revenue Code, and that was my first introduction to understanding the rules of the IRS. And that really was fun for me, because again, a lot of the times I was in class talking about theory. There was nothing that I was applying, because I was just learning the law, and I thought that was a great space for me to explore, a practical, something that was hands-on. It was very hands-on. I learned a lot about individuals' tax returns. I learned a lot about just reading the code and what it means, and how it affects people. And that's when I learned that taxation is an area that applies to every facet of our lives. Like, when you are an individual, taxation applies to you. As a student, taxation applies to you. When you get married, taxation applies to you. So you're being an individual, the government taxes you, and it applies to you. For businesses, taxation applies to businesses. Think about it, corporation taxation applies to, if you have a partnership, they're still getting taxed. There are rules they have to follow. Even when you die, taxation applies. And when when you're buying assets, you're buying a house, when you're buying literally capital asset, taxation applies. So when you're doing business internationally, there were so many things that I was wow, this is very practical, and it was an instant draw to taxation for me. So I continued to intern for VITA for the next 3 springs, and it was an exciting experience that I was looking forward to doing every single semester. One thing that I did do was I would have to get recertified every single year, because that's what the IRS requires. But it was a process where it was organized by United Way, and I learned a lot from that experience. And my knowledge in taxation has increased because of that experience. But outside of that, I go to UF, and UF is number 3, I believe, right now, taxation for the LLM program. And I think that being said, I had the unique and exciting opportunity to take as many tax classes that I wanted. When I'm telling you, I could not get enough of tax classes. Like, I could not get enough of the tax classes I was taking because I didn't want to take the other classes outside of the ones that were required. I wanted to learn tax. So UF gave me the opportunity to just delve into all of the tax classes that I wanted to take. So I was taking partnership tax, I was taking income tax, I took taxation T&E, there's tax policy. Like, on some instances they allow you to even sit in a classroom with other LLM students and learn from them, which is what I did for tax policy. So like, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna come out here and be like I'm a tax guru. I'm not a tax guru, but I will say that my interest in tax has really grown, and I really do want to build a career off of taxation, among other things. But really, I've really focused on that. Like, part of taxation includes trust and estates. Like, trust and estates is an important field because people die every day and people leave their belongings to their family. They leave directions to family members how they want things to be handled upon their death. Like, people have living trust for, you know, family members, for themselves, for their spouse. Like, so like, there's just so many things you can explore. And I'm not gonna come to you guys today and say that taxation is very easy. It's definitely not. It's one of the hardest, like, most gruesome experiences of my life. There were times where I was just like, why am I working really hard as a 2L? Like, why? Like, I feel like I'm a 1L all over again. Like, every semester was always harder than the last. So that being said, I just wanted to kind of explore what, like, my concentration, like, there is a chance, like, tax research is a big thing. You're always researching the tax law, so I've had the chance to also, like, help out with other, like, tax clinic that are ran by legal aids. That was also a fun experience for me, just making sure, like, when the IRS has filed a claim on someone, one of the attorney I was assisting was kind of helping people of low income basically help them through that, trying to find a way of coming into an agreement with the IRS, you know. That was also a really cool experience. I've also gotten the chance to, like, work in the tax department of companies. I know that, like, they're like, and this is kind of interesting because I have the unique experience to do that because taxation applies, again, like I said, for businesses. So to be able to get a look into what taxation looks like on the, like, in a company's tax, you know, in a company's tax department, that was a unique experience for me. And how vital taxation is and is important in how a company plans, you know, their strategy. Sometimes they don't really strategize using like tax implications, but a lot of the times they also do. So it was kind of interesting to watch how, you know, the tax department had a say in. So with all that being said, my law school experience has been hugely focused on tax, but with that said, the last one is my, like, literally, yeah, so look, those are all my experience. I'm looking forward to graduating and possibly working for an accounting firm or a law firm. There are two avenues you can go when you are a law student who has an interest in tax. One avenue is JD preferred and the other is law firm route, so law route. So you can go work for a private, like a law firm, a tax law firm. You can work for the IRS. You can work for any, like, a tax legal aid. Like, you can work for those nonprofit tax organizations, or you could go on the JD preferred side, and that involves working with accounting firms, working for companies, and those two avenues are basically what you can look forward to as a tax student. And I can always provide you more information. There's so much to say about tax, but that's just an overview for you if you are thinking about exploring taxation. I don't know if I covered everything, but if I haven't, leave a comment in the box below. Of course, I'm more than happy to answer your question. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.